Hello everybody, FAI here, or I here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks video. And in today's Accureye Talks video, I thought we'd talk about the importance of potentially, accuracy versus strafing and learning some movement patterns and stuff just to get yourself better. Because I know that many of you, including me, probably have been acting like a dodo bird, and because we act like a dodo bird, well, I mean, at the end of the day, it means that we will, of course, be shot a lot of times. And we're most likely going to be going down a lot of times. Now, I know you're probably going to be already thinking, Accureye, why the heck did you just reference us as dodo birds? Well, many of us are dodo birds, especially when it comes to shooting and playing a shooter-based game. Now, I consider us dodo birds mostly because of the fact that at the end of the day, we end up, of course, having issues where we just go into a standstill because it's easier to get our accuracy and get our shots. And that's pretty true. At the end of the day, our accuracy and our shots are something that will be a lot more accurate when we are standing still. But if you are smart, and of course if you are someone who can realize this, then at the end of the day you shouldn't have a problem with being able to technically strafe left and right, or at least try to keep it in a motion of strafing left and right. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go rapidly AD. No. You don't have to do that. In fact, I would recommend you don't do the rapid motion AD, because at the end of the day, it's not going to really matter to anybody, especially going forward. You shouldn't have to focus on AD. But you should, when you are in the motion of fighting, focus on doing A maybe one way, then go D and start strafing D the other way, then kind of go A and strafe D the other way, and then kind of keep that motion going, if you will. By doing that, you will at least have the motion, the gesture of being able to, kind of AD with almost no issues, if you would. And, by doing that, of course, you end up, making it easier for you to, of course, just be not shot at. And, of course, easier to take somebody down. Now, this motion and, getting your shots down while doing this can take some time, and it will take time. In fact, I'm not going to guarantee you're going to be able to do it immediately. It's going to take some time to realistically do this motion and realistically do this. Because it is going to take that kind of time to realistically do it. You're going to have to at least know that this is going to be something that will happen over time. As you'll notice here, you'll see me starting to this motion where I'm just kind of left motioning myself, and then I kind of right motion myself. And that's just exactly what you need to do. Now, of course, there are times where it's just, you're going to be a little slower, but obviously, as I've said before, this is a great way to, allow yourself to have that particular, shot ratio and shot overall. Now, again, like I said, it's not something that you're going to learn immediately. Like, as you'll see here, you'll have to learn exactly what will make the motion good for you and easy for you to do. It's not going to be something that you're going to immediately have right off the bat, or even just immediately be able to do. It's something that's going to take some time and some practice to really get into motion and get into just being able to do it immediately. Now, of course, like I said before, that's just something that you'll have to get used to over time, and it's just something that, over time you will learn. I'm not saying you won't learn it. In fact, you probably won't learn it immediately, but it will come in time, and it will be something that, in general, will help you overall. So, you'll want to learn how to utilize that AD motion when and as you can. Because, again, that'll help you overall with just fighting in general. And once you've learned it, you'll be able to get better. Now, what does this AD motion do? Well, one, it makes it harder for you to be hit. If you're standing still, of course, 9 out of 10 times, or chances are, you're probably going to end up going into a motion. You're probably going to go into a point where someone will see you, and like I referenced before, you'll be the dodo bird, where you're just going to get hit all the time. And, of course, because you're going to just get hit all the time, well, like a dodo bird, you're going to get easily knocked down. And with this AD motion, this changes your hitbox to the point where now you are not so much of a dodo bird. And because you're not so much of a dodo bird, you're going to end up with being able to realistically change how people are looking at you, and they'll have to adjust your forward hitbox or adjust where your hitbox is, because you are technically moving. You're technically now in a motion where everything is just like, oh, I'm now having to readjust my aim for some reason or another. And that's exactly what you want to do. Is realistically, you want to use a AD motion so that you are harder to hit. Now again, like I said, this doesn't mean that you should spam AD all the time. Sometimes you should just do long strokes to make it unpredictable. Like you're going one way, so your opponent will adjust one way. Then you're going to go another way, and your opponent will have to adjust the other way. And this will at least allow you to realistically, make it to where you hit the wall. And because in like Apex Legends, you can't shoot through walls, this means that, they'll hit a wall, and because they can't shoot through a wall, they're going to end up with being, actually, smacking a shot or something like that. Or they're going to just, use their bullets, use their bullets and stuff. And, they're wasting ammunition. Let's face it, at the end of the day, they'll be wasting ammunition, which means that you, as a player, will now have an advantage. But, of course, the general rule of thumb is, make yourself unpredictable. Don't move forward and backwards. Now, this is one mistake about strafing that most players will make, is don't move forward and backwards. Moving forward and backwards only will make you an easier target in general to hit. And you're probably thinking, but moving forward and backwards seems like it's also considered strafing. Yes, it's considered strafing if you have a opponent parallel to you. But if you have an opponent looking straight at your bloody, your bloody player model, or your bloody eyes in some cases, then strafing forward and backwards means that you're just going to make your hitbox easier to hit. Now, of course, if you want to make an up and down motion easier or harder to hit, then you can consider crouching. Crouching will make your forward make it to where someone has to adjust for you being, down a little lower on the floor, or you being up a little more up on the sky. Same thing with jumping. That's the same idea. It's going to be based on if you're jumping, then you make your hitbox a little harder to hit, because at the end of the day you are throwing away your actual you're making it to where they have to adjust a little higher for the head or something like that. And of course that's a troll hitbox, or a troll pin, everyone, if you're at all wondering. But yeah, that's pretty much how the hitboxes and stuff work. That's pretty much how you can utilize your overall motion or whatever to be better. Now, like I said, you should practice in practice range the strafe motion and get better at learning to control your fire, because again, that'll make it easier for you to play the game and of course be harder to hit. Now, practice the strafe motion whenever you get a chance, especially when you're not under fire. If you're not under fire, practice strafing left and right. As you'll see here, when I'm zoomed in, I'm strafing a little left and right just to kind of keep in motion, and also just not be hit if I get seen. Because again, standing still is the worst thing you can do as a player in this game, or in any FPS game, is standing still. Now, I know standing still, like I said, it improves your accuracy, and makes your accuracy much better in general. But again, like I've pointed out before earlier on, you're going to be like the dodo bird. And because you're going to be like the dodo bird, let's face it, at the end of the day, because you're going to be like the dodo bird, well, you're probably going to end up being clonked. Being clonked in one way or another. So, like, you don't want to be the dodo bird. Let's put it that way. You don't really want to be the dodo bird. And you shouldn't ever be the dodo bird. But, yeah, with that having been said, thank you everybody for joining me and watching this particular video. If you like this video, I hope it's helped you become a better overall player. And I hope that, in general, it's also helped you with learning to not be a dodo bird. But yeah, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being part of this video. And yeah, of course, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, keep practicing your strafe motions, aka using AD whenever you get fired at, or just when you're standing still. Practice the AD strafe motion. That way you're a harder target to hit. And it just kind of becomes natural for you. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And as I said before, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because I know you want to know when my next video drops next. Thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next one, everybody, this is FAI or I, signing out and saying thank you for joining me, thank you for being here, thank you for stopping by, thank you for hanging out. And until the next one, everybody, like I said, this is FAI or I, signing out and saying farewell, everyone.